defending conference champions from Bloomington Jefferson and the Benilde-St. Margaret's Red Knights. Hello and welcome to Benilde-St. Margaret's in St. Louis Park. John Jacobson along with Andy Gugelsberg. Andy, great to see you again. Another year of high school volleyball here on CCX. Great start for Benilde this year. 8-1 so far coming into play tonight.
Yeah, Benilde's coming out of nowhere. They got a couple new pieces to the puzzle. Maisie Jackson's a stud. We're going to be calling her name all night long. And I'll tell you, Coach Huang's got a really good squad. I like their chances to go deep into the section tournament this year.
Jefferson finishes section runner-up to Hopkins last year in 6-3A. However, they lost a lot of players from that, so not as much coming back for them. What can we expect out of the Jaguars?
You know, I was fortunate to go see the Jaguars play at Eden Prairie earlier this year in a tournament, and I talked to head coach Crystal Dolman after the match. Their team doesn't physically impose themselves too much, but they are the scrappiest group of young kids I've seen in a long time. Balls that everybody else let hit the floor, Jefferson Jaguars all over the ground keeping that ball up. It was a lot of fun to watch them play. They're scrappy and they're going to give everybody a tough time.
Well, she talked to me about, hey, don't worry about our record now. She's not worried about it. I'm just trying to prepare this team for October volleyball when it really counts, when the section tournament time comes.
Absolutely true. You know, I mean, this is our first time working together this year. The season's really young. You can throw out records. We want to see some momentum and some skill sets improve, but we're not worried about what your win-loss record is at this point in the season. She's absolutely right. Ran into her right before she started warming up the team, said, we got to win 4 in October. That's what we're working towards.
Could be a good one tonight. Metro West Conference Volleyball, Jefferson and Benilde-St. Margaret's comes up next here on CCX.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood, or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Yeah, welcome back to Benilde-St. Margaret's and the Haven Center. John Jacobson and Andy Gugelsberg as Jefferson continues and finishes up on their warm-ups. Andy, a little bit warm here in the field house tonight, but we'll deal with it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's September. You know, not every gym has the air conditioning that some of the other schools we work with have, but there's something about this place. We were here a few years ago and did some section matches, and they've done some improvements. The lighting's better. The gym floor looks much, much sharper. I like this facility right now.
That's very nice. It'll be interesting to watch Jefferson tonight as they get into more conference play. Each of these teams only had one conference match of the ones that they played, and Benilde's had 9 already and Jefferson 12. You kind of see how they match up, and I think it'll be a good test as you look at Crystal Dolman there for her team, see how they match up with Benilde. They swept the Red Knights last year in the regular season. Benilde, though, seems like they're improved based on their record and who they've beaten so far, so I think this is a good test for Jefferson.
Absolutely. I think they're gonna get pushed early here. There's a lot of youth on the court. And as we look at the Benilde starters here, John, you want to take us through those?
Maisie Jackson is headed to Northern Illinois in a couple of years. She's just a junior. Sophie Hathaway. Carter Booth came over from Breck from last year. She's just an 8th grader. And the rest of the starters, Faber, Kerr, and Sarah Luong, who is the sophomore setter and the daughter of head coach Huang Long. As you look at him, he's now in his 5th year as head coach. Done a nice job, I think, with this program.
Absolutely. You know, the program's always been one that you keep an eye on. They're never the team that's going to be down at the Excel. They're just with the population of school and everything else, all the other great programs that they have here at Benilde. Not all the best athletes always on the volleyball team, but I think he's got some of the right ones this year. We'll mention Jackson's name a bunch, Booth coming in. There's some other just talented kids that are going to be fun to watch tonight as we watch this conference match happen.
When you're watching teams early in the season, as like you said, it's still fairly early, what do you look for as far as how teams work together or their skill sets? And do you put, how much do you put into the winning and losing?
I think very little goes into the winning and losing. You know, the teams are going to play a lot of matches as the season goes on. I think the big thing I look for is how does their serve receive look? How are they responsive to each other post error? It's one of the things, and I've been coaching this game at a pretty high level for a long time, and your ability to respond to each other after an error tells more about how your season's going to go than what the score is of a match in September. Look for these girls. Look for a leader to develop, whether it's a senior, maybe even an underclassman. Just watching Benilde warm up, there's a few kids that seem to get a little more attention from the rest of their teammates, and I'd like to see how they go. Same thing going on with Jefferson. Jefferson's got 2 kids that were part of the regular rotation for varsity last year. The rest of them are new filling in, trying to figure that out. It'll be interesting to see how the Jaguars also come in and who takes leadership going forward.
We had 3 teams from our CCX viewing area a year ago that reached the state tournament: Hopkins, Champlin Park, and Heritage Christian Academy. Actually, the last 2 years, all those teams made it to state, and you look at how they are this year. Heritage certainly lost pretty much everybody from last year. They've struggled in the early going. Hopkins, after a season opening loss to Elk River, has only lost 1 set. They have not lost a match since then. Champlin Park has been solid.
Yeah,
without Sydney Hilly and some of the other pieces they lost.
You know, everybody talked about Sydney Hilly last year, but that team was deep. There was a lot of talent everywhere on that roster. Sydney Hilly, when push came to shove, I don't know how many times I said during our broadcast, Hilly doing Hilly things, but I was able to watch them at Hopkins, and again, John Yunker puts kids in a place to be successful, and he did it again this year with his setter outside hitter rotation he's got going on.
We'll take time out. We'll come back with more, and we'll start the first set. Jefferson, Benilde-St. Margaret's volleyball coming up next on CCX.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
Jefferson and Benilde-St. Margaret getting ready to start set 1 as the players being introduced out on the court here. A few miles away from here, we got the best college volleyball teams in the country, the best. Right now, the University of Minnesota, we have a couple of Hopkins players on the team. Jasmine Martin, just a freshman, and Samantha Seliger-Swenson, now a junior setter.
I tell you, I was able to watch the Gophers, their home opener against, I believe it was West Virginia, which has a Rosemount kid, Aaron Slindy, sitting on the other side of the net. And everybody talked about the seniors that graduated. You know, that was their year. If they were going to win it, that was the year. Maybe when Sam's a senior, those freshmen will get a little more seasoning. And Sam puts her hitters in a position that is just unreal. She makes freshman hitters look like senior All-Americans. We saw it just last week when freshman Steph Samity was given the ESPNW Women's Volleyball Player of the Week as only a freshman. Sam puts her in position to just do amazing things. And Jazz Martin playing 3 rotations, coming out in the back row, still getting her wings under her, as they say. She hits at such a high point and with so much ferocity, it's hard for defenders to figure out where she's going to hit it and then get their arms in the way. It's been a lot of fun to watch them, and we've got a lot of good volleyball. You know, you mentioned Minnesota is the #1 team in Division I. Minnesota also has the #1 and #2 teams in Division II in SMSU and Concordia St. Paul. D3, I think Northwestern's a top 8 or 9 team in the country. There's a lot of good college volleyball, and we've got some great teams that are leading into that going forward to the next level.
We talked before the break about Sydney Hilly and what a great career she had at Champlain Park, now a freshman at Wisconsin.
I tell you what, Sydney Hilly, you know, everybody talks about Lauren Carlini, who will be setting the Olympics in 2020. She will. It's going to happen. So you lose at Carlini and everybody kind of throws their hands up. And Hilly's not only got them undefeated, they haven't lost a set yet this year, John. And they've played some pretty good teams, North Carolina, Louisville, some other great teams. And they got another good weekend before the Big Ten starts. I'll tell you, I think there's something in the water here. We got some pretty good setters doing some really nice things at the D1 level, John.
We're about ready to go with the first set here in this one, Jefferson and Benilde-St. Margaret's. Jefferson last year unbeaten in conference play, won all 7 of their conference matches.
Yeah, the conference is going to look a little different this year. I think it's Benilde's to lose, looking at what I've seen just what all of those teams play already. Benilde obviously near the top. Chanhassen might give them a run. The rest of those teams not at the level they were at last year. And Benilde looking significantly better than they were this past season. And they weren't that bad last year, John.
Red Knights were 4-3 in the conference last year, 22-9 overall. So it's Jefferson in the gray with the Columbia blue and white and black trim. Benilde-St. Margaret's in the white and red with the black shorts. And we get set to go with BSM having their first serve of the night. Sarah Luong, the sophomore setter, will get us started here in set 1.
Yeah, she's got options. She's got weapons. I like her. I like what they're doing right now. They've actually got Maisie Jackson in the 0-2 position, which puts her 2 spots away from the setter, which means she's probably going to be a part of the back row offense as well.
Underway. Serve handled by Emma Peterson. Comes to the front row, a little too tight to the net, and no chance there for Charlie Klin to make a play. And the first point goes to Benilde.
A little out of system on the serve-receive ball. Tegan Pulser does a nice job getting it high enough, but it's just a little tight.
Left side again. This time Klin unable to get it across and is in position. Didn't get a good swing on the ball, and it's 2-0 Benilde.
Yeah, right now left sides are hitting against Skya Favor and Carter Booth. Just imposing forces at the net. It's going to cause some problems for the attackers of Jefferson.
Set to the middle, pushed across, and down for a point. Megan Surstock, one of the 2 players along with Emma Peterson, who were in their regular rotation last year, and gets Jefferson on the board. So first serve rotation here for Jefferson. Olivia Kunkel Jr. will serve it up. Back set goes to Booth. Dug up nicely by Kunkel. Klin, a little too, got it down. Well, it might be a little wide, but just dropped in, and that ties it up.
Yeah, it's an out-of-system swing coming from over her right shoulder. She just goes hypotenuse, trying to hit the longest part of the court and able to put that ball down in the deep corner. Safety first, get those volleyballs out of the way just in case we got some pursuit. That's another great thing about this gym. There's space everywhere. We got room to run if there's a little bit of chaos with the first touch.
Which you don't necessarily have in every gymnasium at all.
No, you really don't. Some of them are deep, some of them are wide, but it's rare you got this much space all the way around.
Left side set went to Hathaway. Ball is down, and another point for Jefferson.
Well, similar blocking setup for Jefferson as they have Surstock and Spencer, and that's just a lot of space to work with. And you see right there just causing a little problem for Booth as she's trying to work around that big block.
Jaden Spencer, 6'4" junior, number 16. Ball in the middle, hit across, and there's the first kill tonight for Maisie Jackson.
Yeah, good tempo out of the backcourt, and Spencer just late getting across.
Sophie Hathaway serve. Free ball knocked across, an easy kill there for Jackson.
Jackson going to take care of this one as she's just got really good eyes on it, sees the overpass, gets her left arm up to kind of size it up a little bit, and then finishes with a nice swing.
Left side, handled by LeWong, but right to the net to Jefferson, and that's Spencer that puts it away.
Again, a dig, it goes over the net, and the block on the other side takes care of it really well. Spencer here sees the opening as Long just kind of still reeling on the fact that she sent that ball over, not quite back in position.
Booth to the middle, floated across by Hathaway. I don't know, but she intended to hit it that way. I think she kind of mishit it, but it was very effective.
Yes, it's really interesting. She has a really nice approach coming in. It looks like she's coming hard. She mishits the ball. The defense is obviously on their heels there.
Carr's serve into the net gives Jefferson the point. We're tied at 5. Serve for Jefferson. Jaguars try to get the lead. Jackson blocked well by the Jaguars. They keep it alive. Ball sent across by Sonnenberg and in. And the Jaguars up 6-5. Sam Sonnenberg, the junior, their first kill, gets Jefferson back in front. There's the set from Kunkel. Jags by 1. This is in for a point. It's 2 balls in a row, but Benilde's kind of just let go, and they both been in.
Yeah, there's the depth back there, and that's the other thing you get used to as the season gets started. You know, there's some nerves, communication issues between a couple of kids. Somebody's got to figure out who's going to take that seam.
Hathaway handles this one. Along to the middle, back to Hathaway. Handled by Peterson. Back set goes right side. Pushed through the net, but not over. And Benilde gets the point.
Good discipline there from the Benilde block not to reach over and give Bloomington 3 more touches on it. Really like the way they're playing this game right now.
Anna Shershin, a junior, will rotate in and serve here for Benilde. Good serve. Handled by Schreier. Comes back to Schreier off the set, and she gets the kill.
A really good rhythm on her swing there. Now we'll get another couple subs in. Beautiful thing. I'm used to playing and coaching at the club level where you only get 12 subs. At high school, you get 18. So you can really, really play with your lineup.
Alicia Wendler in for Jefferson. Nice serve. Missed. And it's a point for Benilde. 8-7, Jackson trying to tie it up. Set to the middle, ball over and down. Kill, Haley Heinitz. With their first kill tonight, and Jefferson back up by 2. And a timeout taken by, someone saw a timeout signal. Crystal Dolman said, I didn't call timeout.
We have a little confusion here. Apparently the clock is running and we're going to have a talk like there's a timeout, but there is no timeout called. We'll see what the interpretation is. Crystal's been around the game for a long time. Played herself at New Prague High School. Went and played at Winona State after that. Has spent a lot of time in multiple club gyms. She is very experienced with the rules and spends a lot of time understanding how this game is supposed to get interpreted. Really, really confused, and now we're going to have the captain come over. This delay is far from over, John.
Good to know.
Yeah, we got time. You know, you see to our left there, you see Ashley, I believe, I can't remember her married name right now, Bushman, communicating with the hitters for Benilde. Ashley, a 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year for Minnesota at Shakopee back when she was Ashley Whitman.
She was a terrific player.
She was fantastic. She was part of 3 straight state titles for Shakopee with a variety of players around her. Went to the University of Minnesota, was a 2-time All-American there. And one of, it's funny, I knew some kids from Shakopee back then, and they were like, you know, you get one of those really elite athletes and you want to not like them, but she's one of the nicest kids, always worked with a bunch of kids with disabilities, was involved in everything in the program. It was just a lot of fun to work with her when we had the opportunity.
So out of the timeout, no timeout, we're back playing. And a tip and a ball point for Jefferson, or excuse me, for Benilde.
I think that ball went off the deep defender there.
Sophie Hathaway will get credit for the kill. Rachel Folkestad, senior middle blocker, to serve now. Missed on the set by Wendler, and that gives Benilde another point. We're tied at 9.
Yeah, Wendler tried to be a little fancy on that one. Probably would have been a safer set to just go high outside to Surstock.
Good serve. Jefferson scrambling. And they do get it across on the hit by Surstock. The Hathaway, and blocking a point for Jefferson. Heinitz and Surstock.
Yeah, good choice here to go outside, but the block just waiting for it. And the seam, I think, closed late. Hard to tell from our angle, but I think she was trying to drop seam, and Surstock dropped her left hand into it.
Keegan Polster, sophomore, serves. And that'll go as an ace. Off of par and down.
It's a very interesting serve. She's got a real good torque as she jump floats this ball. It goes 1-1. It's a really tough angle to pick up sometimes.
Jackson from the middle across. It's Benilde the point and the serve back.
That is the 4th kill from Benilde on a back row attack. 2 of them have had a lot of pace to them, and then the other 2 are a little bit off. I think we just had miscommunication over there between Polster and the setter, Wendler.
Benilde back to its first rotation. Long. Serving it up here, tight to the net, over by Booth. Long setting Jackson up in the middle, and there's a kill.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, John. Another back row kill for Jackson. Really heads-up play there by, I believe it was Surstock, as the overpass came and she just put her hands up, and now we see that kill again. They're very intentionally attacking the 1-6 seam as there's been some communication breakdown as to who's going to take that ball.
To the net and didn't get a set. Off of Peterson, that'll go as an ace. And Benilde back in front.
This would be the time where I think Dolman would typically take a timeout, but she's already used one, unbeknownst to her, I guess. But
that's too long on this serve. Holster wisely letting it go. We're tied at 12. Spencer and Kunkel in again for Jefferson. It'll be Kunkel to serve. To the net, an easy play for Klin for the kill.
Good heads-up play there, knowing that she doesn't need to swing hard, just place that ball right back over. Good kill.
On to Jackson. Too much this time. Jefferson's got 3 points in a row. They're up by 2.
A little miscue there. I think she overran it a little bit, ended up swinging long.
Ball outside to Hathaway, tapped over, returned by Spencer. Hathaway again, and found the right spot. Back row in for a point.
Hathaway definitely getting used to the court here. Good out-of-system set from Long, and just finds the back line. There's been a bunch of tight calls already in this set.
Over by Peterson on the third hit. Long outside for Jackson. Got a lot behind that one, and we're tied at 14.
Surstock and Spencer are very good, very high touching blockers, and she went over them to take that ball down the line. That's a big swing.
Hathaway, great serve and an ace.
And a 3-point run for Benilde there, and we're just exchanging them back and forth. That is something you see early that you don't see as late. There's a lot of serve-receive issue and a lot of 3, 4, 5-point runs early in the season.
Go outside to Klin. Over by Booth. Peterson. And outside right, and a good kill and a swing by Surstock for the point. Tied at 15.
Surstock here on a great back set, and I think she just beats the seam of the block as Jackson tries to get over high, and she goes low underneath her. Really smart spot.
Jackson across. Great play by Jefferson to keep it alive, and it's wide. Great effort. Kunkel return just a little wide.
Never give up. We talked about that in the pregame. They're going to keep balls off the floor that should have hit it, and there's our first example.
Carr sails her serve wide. Tied at 16. So Jefferson looking to break the tie. Long back, over by Fry, gets another chance at it and delivers. Skya Faber, the freshman right side hitter, delivers. I haven't called their name much tonight, and Faber comes through. It's another chance right here.
Yeah. Long dishes that ball about 20 feet back on the run. That's a great set.
And Faber, a freshman, and Carter Booth, an 8th grader, getting regular play for Benilde.
Yeah, they're gonna be strong for a few years to come.
Oh, deliver Jaden Spencer with a big kill.
That looked like she had fun with that one too. Just really accelerates. Watch her back foot here. Her right leg just drives up and she's able to get significantly higher and finish through.
$17-0 is Wendler's serve. Toss to Jackson. Point for Benilde.
Schreier, they're just not getting across on the block, but Jackson takes full advantage.
All set to Schreier. Front row across, it goes to halfway, blocked right back. Benilde recovers and over by Volbrecht. Left side, pushed by Sonnerborg. Jackson got to that. Double contact called on Benilde, point for Jefferson.
Tight set here, some early jitters and some great plays. It's a good combination for our first one, John.
Peterson serves. Floated over on the hit by Folkestad. Another Jefferson point though, and a timeout by Benilde.
Yeah, some really good volleyball. I think Fong is just going to relax the team right now and kind of get them back in a system. We'll take a look at this last point. Really nice serve here. Get a good float at the libero. The slide is the choice, and I think she was expecting it a little bit deeper, or a little bit closer to the sideline. So it's a short little swing, and she overruns it a little bit. Early on, trying to just kind of make sure we got the next rotation figured out. Crystal Dolman on the other side talking about making sure they're stopped and balanced. I can hear her from here talking about what it is that's going to dig the next ball. I think if I'm Crystal, I'm talking about how to defend the back row attack, as that has been a definite weapon for Benilde. And Benilde's going to want to find a way to get their middles a couple more balls in rhythm. I think they're doing some really nice things. They get one pass to get out of this rotation. What I love right here is you see Anna Carr high-fiving her teammates. She was the one that caused the kind of poor pass to start that last point, but she's a great teammate getting back into it.
Right serve by Peterson. Start this play. Halfway across for Benilde. And pushed across by Surstock. Volbrecht for Jackson. Haley Heinitz at the net.
That's one way to defend the back row attack, as she goes straight six, which is typically not the way you want to hit that ball because the block is sitting right there. Nice block for Jefferson and a 2-point lead.
20-18, it's Peterson's serve. Back step. Get across nicely, and Hathaway able to put it away. Set up by Folkestad's attack on the previous hit, and then put away there by Hathaway. And a crucial point to get them back to within one. Folkestad serving. Front row, and missed time there by Surstock on the set from Wendler.
That's a Vegas type play right there. When you run both your hitters on the front side of it on quick sets, everything's got to line up in order for that to work.
Folkestad caught Peterson high. That goes as an ace. And now 3 in a row for Benilde, and Jefferson takes timeout.
You will see this last point. It's a good serve, and Peterson just not quite sure when it's going to drop on her, and it never does. She kind of wears it a little more than she wants to. Dolman's seen enough, wants the timeout, and we're sitting here 21-20. It hasn't been your typical side-out battle to get to this score. It's been a lot of runs back and forth. I think that gets short up here either at the end of this set or definitely into the next set. We're going to be in a much better place to watch a lot cleaner volleyball. I will give hats off to both coaches and both teams for their ability to deal well with some out-of-system stuff. Good, healthy swings out of system from both the left and right side and from Benilde's back row. When the opportunity is there, they're still swinging for points instead of just sending that free ball over, sending that tip over, which is what happens a lot early when you're not quite ready to run your offense.
21-20, BSM up by 1 here late in set 1. Over and wide as Hathaway and Booth were both at the net, but I don't think they commuted quite as they would have hoped.
Right, I think, and it might be the fact that Hathaway's a senior, but overpasses are middle priority first. In every gym I've ever been a part of, Booth just needs to, as an 8th grader, she's probably not ready to take that initiative and tell the senior she's going to take that ball.
Outside to Hathaway, a pounds at home for a point.
That's a great set and a great swing from Hathaway there. Let's take another look here. Good set, high outside, beats the seam of the block and down. Not a whole lot of things you can do with that. Good swing from Benilde.
Long serving at 22-21. Wendler sets and a little bit too high for Heinert. That's 23-21.
I like the idea. We'll see if Heinert can go back. Oh, wait a minute now. Apparently they did give her that timeout back because she just called another one, down 21-23. Early season, it's very common off of this timeout for it to be a really safe play. Going to pass the ball up to about 8 feet. Setter's going to set a high ball to the outside, and we're going to send it over and see if they give us something back. I would like to see right now a push for tempo from Jefferson. If you're Benilde, let's go ahead. The pressure's completely on them. They're down 2. You have the ball. You've got a really good front row coming at them to block. I'd serve tough and limit what they can do offensively and see what happens. It's definitely, the ball is not only literally but figuratively in Benilde's court right now as they have the momentum, a 2-point lead, and the ball to serve tough.
(23-21). Sarah Luong puts it back in play. Wendler pushed across by Surstock. Jackson got to that ball. Hathaway will push it over. Wendler tight at the net, across. Great dig by Luong. Play at the net. Point Jefferson.
Luong and Skaya favored, both laying out for that play. That's great effort. The point will go to Jefferson, but the momentum, I think, still stays with Benilde at this moment.
Kunkel in and serves her team down by 1. Carter Booth didn't get enough on that one, and we're tied up.
Short set a little bit there, not quite the ball she wanted, and as a result kind of has to tip it into the middle of the net. Deuce game here.
Long for Hathaway. Blocked by Spencer, and Jefferson's up by 1. Timeout Benilde.
And that's exactly the play I was talking about when Jefferson took their last time out here. Let's take another look. It's a good serve. They don't want to get ace, so it's a high pass at 8 feet. It's a set at 7 feet, and it's predictable. The block standing there waiting for it. Hathaway kind of in a tough spot. As an outside, you're expected to put that ball in around the block anyway, but it's a tough space to be in. And now Benilde with their back against the wall, set point Jefferson. Jefferson probably going to come out with something aggressive here. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I watched Jefferson play at Eden Prairie, and multiple times they were up late in sets and couldn't close. This will be a time to see if the Jefferson Jaguars have hit the maturity that Crystal Dolman is looking for.
(24-23). Jaguars trying to close out this first set.
I like Jackson out of the back row here if I'm Benilde.
Kunkel serve misses. We're tied up. 24 all. Have to win by 2. Hathaway to serve for the Red Knights. That's an ace off of Klin for a point. Well, in about 30 seconds, all of a sudden it's Benilde with set point on 2 quick plays.
And that's a great serve, and they're picking on Klin there, the sophomore, in her first varsity experience this year.
Ball to the net. Fry can't keep it in play. Excuse me, Faber can't keep it in play, and we're tied at 25.
And the difference there was the same serve, but senior Emma Peterson takes that ball and is a little more controlled.
Outside him, Maisie Jackson missed it. Was it Benilde's point? Jefferson was standing up to cheer. No, it looks like it is Benilde's point. It's 26-25. Jaguars thought it was wide.
Jaguars thought it was wide. Line judge immediately snapped it down, and she's had a couple unsure calls early. So I trust her on that one, knowing what she had.
Anna Carr serving, handled by Peterson. To the net, and the point for Benilde. Couple of late rallies for the Red Knights. As Jackson and Folkestad get up. Jackson gets the block and the point. And we'll look at it again.
It's a good serve, nice pass. Set is there, predetermined where she's going, and Spencer, not quite in love with the set, tips it into the block. As a junior, you've got to understand that that ball has got to go over the block and give your team a chance. It doesn't. Set ends. We'll see what happens after this.
Take a break, come back with set number 2. Benilde-St. Margaret's takes out Jefferson in the first set, 27-25. More volleyball on CCX in a moment.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
With Andy Guggenberg, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks for tuning in to CCX coverage of high school volleyball tonight. That's our West Conference match between Bloomington Jefferson and Benilde-St. Margaret's. Benilde winning that seesaw first game 27-25, where I'm certain neither team led by more than 3, if even that, if we had more than a team leading by 2.
I think you're absolutely right, and it's crazy because nobody was ever up by 3, but there were like 14 three-point runs, it felt like. It was crazy.
Jefferson getting ready to set as we get underway with set number 2. Olivia Kunkel. First serve misses, and point for Benilde. Start set 2. Hathaway, who had some big swings in that first set, she gets her first serve here in the second set. That ball into the net, over. The confusion on what the call is here.
The line judge is calling a block on the touch, and the actual signal for that is out of bounds. She gave the touch call, which thought there was a bang-bang play, I think. All right, I guess we got it right. We're going to get this fixed. I think what the line judge saw was the ball off of the Benilde block. Yes, that is what she saw. She signals that it touched the Benilde block, and the Benilde players thought it went off the Jefferson kid after the block. We'll take a look here. I think we might have the, oh, tough angle, tough angle.
So instead, we're tied at 1. Jackson going to work again.
Bangs it off the block into the antenna. That's a great use by the junior outside hitter.
(2-1) with Carr serving. Right side, Spencer puts it away.
Nice in-rhythm pass, in-rhythm set, and Spencer puts it away. That's a nice ball. Let's take another look here. Again, great against the flow set as she's moving to her left and reverses the ball to the right antenna. Really like the way Kunkel's delivering right now.
Kylie Reardon is number 3 for Jefferson. She will serve here. Overpass, Spencer, and dug up nicely by Carr. Middle, Hathaway floats it over to Reardon. To the middle, Spencer. Great set from Kunkel, and Spencer another kill.
I think Faber's going to want to help out on this ball a little more. She doesn't quite get into the seam. Oh no, that's an inside set. Really good placement there.
Reardon off of Hathaway and across the net. Spencer. Another Jefferson point.
Is that 3 in a row for Spencer, I believe?
Yes.
Junior middle really attacking well. Benilde's got to get the ball out of system so they can't find her.
Good run by Long to get to that ball. Jackson put it across. Left side pushed over by Sonneborg. Here's Jackson. Dug up well by Peterson. Back set. Faber. Gaia Faber. No, missed. Point Jefferson. Long doesn't like that call.
Net violation here. If we stay with it long enough, you can see it after she swings and follows through. She comes down and takes the net. You can see the vibration there. It's a great call from the up ref because the down ref didn't have it.
Jefferson leads at 5-2. Well, this time to Maisie Jackson. A dig by Reardon. Over, but long. On the attack from Sonneborg. Point for Benilde.
Really good defense on both sides of the court right now. Like what we're getting from the youngsters from Jefferson. And I'm more and more impressed with Anna Carr every time she touches the ball. The libero is doing a really nice job.
And Scherson serving for Benilde and an ace.
Take another look here. The ball floats, catches the tape. We call that the home court advantage, John.
Back row handled by Reardon. To the middle, Peterson doesn't get enough on that ball. Into the net, point for Benilde. And we're tied at 5. 3 in a row for BSM now.
The runs keep coming.
Jefferson got it over on the serve at the net. Good dig there by Jefferson, across by Jackson, missed.
I like the way Jackson's attacking the corners right now. She missed, but I like the shot she's aiming for.
Alicia Wendler back into Jefferson's lineup. She will serve here. Jackson floats it across. In the middle, Heinitz with the kill.
Really nice crossbody swing there. Let's take another look here. She goes. She wants to run gap or run the B set tight. It's pushed a little bit past her, so she has to take it there and puts it down for a point.
Here's Jackson off the set from Volbrecht.
When Jackson gets the ball she likes, she just has a different look on her approach. She accelerates so well on those last two steps and puts it where Jefferson isn't.
Easy Jackson just got it across and played it well enough by Heinitz, but nobody took the step up for Jefferson to play it after her hit.
Yeah, Wendler's got to take that ball or yell for Schreier to take it. What happened there just can't happen at a varsity level.
7-7. This time Jackson can't sneak it over the net, and Jefferson back up by 1. Peterson is one of the captains this year, along with Megan Scherstock and Jaden Spencer, serving for Jefferson. Ball to the middle. A dig off the attack from Jackson. Across and over. A point for Sonnenberg.
Sonnenberg very happy with the way that point finished. Comes down, has the fist up ready to go here. Really good rhythm. Her transition footwork is so clean. The big finish lands right away. Real excited.
Peterson serves. Left side attack across by Hathaway. And in for a point despite the effort by Reardon. A point for Benilde.
Yeah, they leave a lot of room on that back line, does Jefferson, and Reardon takes a jab and gets a touch on it, but not high enough for anybody to do anything with it.
Folkestad serving at the net. Easy put away there for Carter Booth. We're tied at 9.
Booth really elevates well here on the overpass and goes where nobody can touch it.
Back set across, and tough angle for Sonnenberg to make a play on that.
Again, a little bit of a misstep. The set isn't quite where she wants it. That's a ball she's got to relax and still find a way to keep in the court.
Folkestad, who's a captain this year, along with Scherson, Hathaway, and Carr. Over by Booth, Peterson, and then over by Sonnenberg. Back to Booth. Set from Volbrecht. Benilde point. Touched by Jefferson. And Benilde up by 2.
She's batting 1,000 on that slide attack. That's the third or fourth time she just, and it's such a good set from Long too. She drops it into her, and she just is able to really elevate off that back foot and flip her shoulder through to get the big swing and score. Been a lot of runs back and forth again here in set 2. I don't know that 2 points, a 2-point lead is safe. We found that out during the last set. Going to be some great volleyball back and forth. Again, during that last point, we saw it again. Jefferson laying out bodies on the floor, making crazy defensive plays. But Benilde just too big at the net right now. Too many weapons that can beat you too many ways. And Fong's group really, really attacking well.
11-9 BSM. Another serve for Folkestad. Wendler pushed across by Surstock. Olbrecht to the middle. Jackson got away from her, and a point for Jefferson.
The lead was at about 7 feet. That makes it tough for her to broad jump into it. I like the idea to still set her out of the back row. It's got to be something she can take a swing on.
Tegan Polster serving for the Jags, down by 1. Olbrecht dumps it over. Peterson was ready for that ball. Surstock with the kill.
Really disciplined defense there by Peterson as she picks up the center dump. And then great transition footwork again by Surstock as she's able to get behind, and the line is wide open.
Polster floats it across, handled by Carr. The middle, Booth. She meant that one, Andy.
Yeah, that one had a little extra on it right there. That's a big swing. That's a momentum turner. I don't know why that's a solo block. On a perfect pass, they go to Booth every time. There's got to be more hands in her way. I don't know that it matters. She might have been over the top of it anyway, but when there's only one set of hands, it's an easy kill for an athlete like Booth.
BSM up by 1 again, Long, and now we're tied. 12-12.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say we might be part of a run. That's a safe bet, I think.
Back it goes to Booth. Over by Peterson. Jackson had to run up on that ball. Carr, and over by Hathaway. Surstock across.
Call is out.
Call is out. It initially signaled it to Jefferson.
Hey, ref's got to knock the rust off a little bit too here.
Point for Benilde. Tight to the net. Another BSM point. 14-12 Red Knights.
Crystal Dolman telling Kunkel she wants you to go jump and get that ball.
Hathaway serve handled by Polster. Front row over by Spencer. Tipped by Benilde. Point for Jefferson.
Another heads-up touch by Carr there as Spencer tries and throws it off Jackson's hand. And Carr gets another touch on it.
Along to Booth. That got blocked back at her. Carr recovers. Makes a nice play. Back to the middle of Spencer. And a point for Benilde.
Booth very excited because Booth got blocked and it hit her. And they were able to keep it alive, and then she ends it with a block on Spencer's swing.
Aaron Beacon, number 20, into the match for the first time tonight for Benilde-St. Margaret's, the junior, in the front row right now. Hit across by Schreier. Long will set it to Jackson, gets blocked by Spencer.
I think that's the right choice to get Jackson the ball there, but because it dies inside, instead of it going over the smaller Schreier, that ball goes right into the hands of, I believe that was Spencer. Yeah, it's inside. She's only got one spot to take it, and it's right into Spencer's hand.
Reardon serves. Floated across by Faber. And hit wide by Schreier on the return by Jefferson. Benilde back up by 2.
Yeah, Schreier didn't like that ball from the minute it left her hand. She knew she missed it. Benilde with a 2-point advantage.
Volbrecht and Scherson back in for Benilde. Scherson's serve is long, 16-15. And for Jefferson, Wendler and Heinitz return. Carr sails over but out.
Again, I think sometimes we try to do too much with an out-of-system ball instead of getting something high and hittable. Give us something to play with. That's all my assistant coach said to our hitters all year long. Give us something to play with.
Wendler floats it over. Carr. Volbrecht across to Jackson for the point.
That's the ball Jackson needs. She can find court. She can find hands. She's got options there. She uses a little bit of both. Off the hands of the middle blocker and down.
Maisie Jackson with an ace. 18-16 Benilde. This serve is wide because Benilde-St. Margaret's could never lead by 3 tonight.
No,
so
absolutely not.
They've got to give one back.
Absolutely not. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
18-17 with Peterson serving. Here's Hathaway. Over, handled by Peterson. Wendler setting it over by Sonnenberg. Left side, Hathaway, a little push this time. Peterson outside left for Sonnenberg. Volbrecht, back set, cross, and over. And the kill for Beacon.
It's a really nice swing. Beacon on the slide here. Beats the block into the corner. Tough ball.
1917 BSM. 1918.
Nobody wants to be in front by 3 points tonight, John. Nobody. Feel a Polster ace coming on. It's been a while since we've called her name. She jumps in again here.
Set for play again. Polster, nice serve, handled by Carr. Hathaway over and down the line for a point.
Hathaway very fluid on that swing. Really like the way she got through that ball. Good serve, handled well. Good inside set, and she takes the ball down the line where the defender, I think they're trying to double defend that, but they're not quite getting to that sideline.
Serve here for Volbrecht. Ball to the middle, and they missed time on the hit. Surstock couldn't get a hand on it. Benilde its first 3-point lead tonight, 21-18. Here, getting late in set 2. And another ace. Carol Volbrecht, the senior, makes it 22-18. Timeout Jefferson.
First 4-point lead of the night, and Volbrecht is all excited about her ability to put this one away. The way she's serving right now, a lot of problems for Jefferson is they're not picking the ball up at the contact window. They're catching it late. You see, she serves this ball, and it's not a surprise. Her arm's actually coming kind of slow. That ball was going to drop short, but because the serve receivers for Jefferson don't see the contact, they don't know that it's coming short. Ball drops in front. It's a 2-contact ace in my book. Red Knights kind of running away from this one. Jefferson hasn't felt to me like they were in the set at all here in set 2. They let one slip away in set 1, and I think there may be a little bit of a lag on that, and we'll see if they can come off this timeout, put a run together, and tie this game back up. But it's looking really good for Benilde.
(22-18) BSM. Bolbrick serves. The middle, pushed across and back. Peterson, Wendler back outside and left and blocked back by BSM. Booth getting up with Faber. I think it was Booth that got the hands on it.
That's a tall block out there. And again, the set's a little inside, which means it goes into the bigger of the two blockers.
Ball played to Klin, left side, floats it back row, Jackson. Bolbrick to Hathaway, and this one gets away from Hathaway, and Jefferson catches a little break there, and they get an important point to make it 23-19.
Hathaway overruns it a little bit. I think she was expecting the ball a little bit more on the net, and as a result, we have the deep swing. Another substitution delay here as the Jefferson player way excited to get into the game and did not wait for the down official to signal her in. This is another one of those early match things. You know, as the season progresses, one of two things happen. Either the kids learn how to do it or the refs just figure out who went in for who. We don't need the delay. But it's a teachable moment. It's a learning opportunity. I respect it.
Kunkel and Spencer both back in. It's Kunkel to serve. Long left side, Hathaway off the block. Peterson ran that down. Back set, Surstock. Jackson up front, Long, and over by Hathaway. Back row handled by Polster up to the front, tipped over by Surstock. Long setting Jackson in the middle. Point Benilde.
That ball had eyes, John. That's a gorgeous swing. She takes it. She's taken 3 balls in set 2 here to zone 5 that haven't scored. She goes back to zone 1, and she's able to get that kill.
Set point now for BSM. Outside left, blocked out by Benilde. Jaguars get the point to stay alive.
Well, when you're smaller outside compared to the block in front of you, got to remember the block can be your friend, and she does right there.
Long for Jackson. Good dig by Polster, but couldn't get the pass up to Kunkel. And there's set 2 to BSM.
Yeah, a no-doubter, even though it was close most of the time. Let's watch this last point. Surstock with a decent enough serve. Pass comes off the net. We know where this ball is going. Jackson goes up, hits it cross-court. Polster with a technically good dig, but she just adds a little bit too much touch with her shoulder. It's too tight, and the ball hits the ground. It's a 2-0 lead for Benilde. They're looking for a sweep to get out of here, John.
We'll take a break. Come back with more volleyball. Jefferson and Benilde on CCX in a moment.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
BSM up on Jefferson 2-0. We go to the third set here. Jefferson, as I mentioned, unbeaten last year in the Metro West Conference. Benilde-St. Margaret's finished in a tie for third with a 4-3 conference mark. Chaska was second. This would be a big win for Benilde as they look to win a conference volleyball championship. And as they look at the banners or the placards across the way from us, their last conference championship in volleyball came 13 years ago. 2004 was the second of back-to-back conference title winning teams for BSM.
Yeah, it's been a while, you know. Fong's been building this program, like you said, it's his 5th year. I think he's got him where he wants him. They believe they can win matches right now, where I think when he took over the program, that wasn't necessarily the case. He's got athletes on athletes. He's got kids that believe in it. The smiles we saw in that huddle as we came back from break, really encouraging what they believe they can do right now.
Long will serve and get us underway here in set 3. Right side, across by Surstock. Nice jig, but out. Oh no, that dropped in. A point for Benilde. That was going to land just wide, and Long with that jig. It drops in, and a point for BSM.
Got to stop watching volleyball if you're the Jaguars and start playing it.
Back row handled by Peterson. Over by Surstock. Hathaway with the kill.
They're in the space right now, John. Hathaway just uncorking on another ball. Long sets her up really nicely here, able to go over the smaller block down the line. That's why they're double defending it, but sometimes even that isn't enough.
Dumped over. Carr dug it up. Over by Hathaway, left side. Klin across off the blockers. Long setting it back. And there's Jefferson getting a point. Surstock and Klin were up to defend Beacon. And Jefferson's on the board here in set 3. Kunkel serving. Set for Booth. Nice little change of speed on that.
I'll go out on a limb and say that wasn't intentional, John. I think she overran the set a little bit here. Yeah, she's way in front of this thing. On her way down, the only shot she has left. But with her length, she's able to put that ball down for a point.
Hathaway serving. Here's Maisie Jackson across, dug by Peterson. Right side Surstock. Missed wide. 4-1 Benilde.
Red Knights kind of in a rhythm right now, playing some really good ball to end set 2 and to start set 3 here.
Ball the middle of Carr. Hit from the middle across, and point for Hathaway.
John, I believe that was a back row set hit to area 1. That seems, oh yeah, we've talked about it. Seems to work really well for the Red Knights. Jaguars got to decide who's going to play that ball. That's the 4th ball that's fallen in between the right back and middle back defender.
It was Jackson getting that play in the first set, and this set Hathaway, now Jefferson gets one back. Make it 5-2.
Quinn does a really nice job there getting through the block.
Surstock over from the front row. Booth across. Scramble, and Quinn colliding with Kunkel. Looks like they're both all right.
Another great hustle play by the Jaguars, just not getting the points.
Carr serving, handled by Polster. Front row and a block. Skya Faber along with Carter Booth getting up on that one.
Interesting change here. They moved Faber into the middle, and it's paying off already. Great swing.
Oh,
She
it's
gets
Jackson on that side. I'm sorry, yes.
Gets across late with Jackson there, and we'll credit Jackson with most of that block.
Yeah.
8-2, and this is what I'm talking about, John. We just had a service ace, and the only person trying to communicate in the middle is Peterson for Jefferson. They're going to have to get that fixed, or it could be a long season.
Back row handled by Hathaway. Ball across left side. Macy Jackson with the kill.
Did not have a net violation. The call is out of bounds. It's a good call. Wondering if there was a net violation maybe, but
on Jefferson.
Yeah.
Yeah. None called, and so the point instead goes to the Jaguars, and it's 8-3.
Reardon to serve here.
Run by Long, gets it to Jackson, sent back. Carr pushed over by Long. Quick set in the middle. Spencer off the set from Kunkel, missed wide. Benilde point, 9-3, Red Knights. Scherson to serve. Long. Point for the Jags.
Like the float on that ball, just didn't drop off at the end. I like what she's trying to get done there. Good contact point, and it just doesn't bite. .49 to serve here is Wendler.
Carr up front, Volbrecht to Jackson. Sent back, they'll set Jackson again, cross court, and nicely down for a kill.
That's a big swing. Carr saves the point a couple different times here. We get the last set outside. She goes thumb down and just carves that ball 4-4. Beautiful placement. Bushman might have taught her that one, I'm not sure.
Jackson, serve handled by Peterson. One more back right side, and Polster, or Schreier rather, hitting it long, and another point for Benilde, who's got all the momentum here in set 3. Jefferson's next match next Tuesday, they will host Richfield. Benilde-St. Margaret's will be on the road Monday at Waconia on their next conference match at Bloomington Kennedy on Tuesday. They look to go to 9-1 on the season with a win tonight. Attack from Skya Faber and the freshman right side hitter with another point.
Faber with these middles, every time they want to run a slide, they get so excited they overrun it, but she's able to stop herself and go a second time and get the kill.
Left side across and back over, handled by Benilde. Jackson, another kill off of Wendler and out.
Jackson has the keys, finding ways to score out of the back row, and it's a timeout for Jefferson. We'll see this again. Bump set, Jackson goes to the one. That time it's played clean, but it gets on the hitters so fast. She's got such an aggressive swing out of the back row, really gets downhill quick and finishes high. It's really interesting to watch her hit out of the backcourt. In the front court, sometimes she drops her elbow, but in the backcourt, because the ball is 10 feet further away when she hits it from the net, she's got to go high, so her contact point is just gorgeous. Really like the way she's swinging. Illinois State has got a real gem coming in a couple of years. Jefferson, we see Crystal Dolman getting some input from the kids and trying to figure out how to get out of this rotation and how that defense needs to change if they're going to start digging that backcourt swing.
Jackson serving. Lundler, centerboard, nice dig by Anna Carr, over by Hathaway. Lundler back set right side, and there's Jefferson getting a much needed point.
And you have a Sonnenberg off the right side there. Really good job reversing the ball. Finds the hands as Favor late getting across off the block and out of bounds.
Peterson serves. And an ace for Emma Peterson.
Peterson may be one of the top scorers for Jefferson as the libero. She's got at least 4 or 5 aces and doing a lot of defensive things as well. Crazy to think she's going to be one of the top scorers in the libero jersey.
This one head out. So Jefferson with 3 in a row. Peterson serving well. It's 13-7. Jackson
misses that shot to zone 1 that time and kind of looks at her setter like, I'll hit that again. Just repeat the set. We're fine.
(13-8). Set outside for Hathaway. Set assist to Volbrick. Hathaway with the kill.
Hathaway in that rotation isn't part of the serve receive, so as a result, she can just get on her launching pad to go swing, and she does just that. Really good swing from her.
Sophie Dobos, a sophomore, number 22, into the match for the first time tonight. Left side pushed across by Surstock and put away by Heinitz.
Great effort defensively. But the ball ends up floating back into Jefferson's space, and Heinitz takes care of it at the end. Confusion setting in.
And here's Polster to serve. It missed.
Just long.
Long in and Beacon in. (15-9). BSM trying to close it out in 3 tonight. Over by Heinitz and down for a point.
Smarter, not harder. A little misplaced there, and she's smiling and giggling as she leaves the court.
Kunkel serving. Jags down by 5.
Uh-oh.
Here's Booth. Oh. Missed down the line.
That's the first time she's been in rhythm and missed all night. That was a shocker to me. See if they repeat the set here, still with 4 points up on Jefferson.
Long, back left side, Hathaway.
The net violation is the call. That was really, really good serving. As by serving short, you take the slide away, which means you can commit block, and that's what they did, but they caught net at the end.
And that one missed wide. Jefferson thought it was tipped.
Spencer thought she found hands there.
Instead, the point to Benilde at 17-11. Long outside for Jackson, and it's sent back. Spencer and Surstock up to make it 17-12. Jags down 5 will serve.
Momentum kind of shifting their way, but is it too little too late?
To the middle and across by Booth. Left side and the kill. Charlie's Flynn with the kill and make it a 4-point set at 17-13.
Polster does a great job picking up the dig, and then they go in the 1-6 That block needs to take something away there.
Jackson gonna bring that momentum back to Benilde.
Great set out here, and Jackson downhill goes over the block and down in front or just behind the right back defender.
Left side and over, half the way. Along for Jackson. Handled by the Jags, pushed across at the net.
Pardon my language, that looked dangerous.
The player into the net. Glenn for Jefferson gives the point to Benilde. There's Glenn, number 11. This momentum carries her into the net. 19-13. Back set over by Spencer. Point for the Jags.
Spencer in that same rhythm on her slide that time for the kill out of serve receive. Haven't seen many serve receive kills, but the ones we have been relatively impressive.
Kylie Reardon here to serve. Benilde by 5. Jackson. Point for Jefferson. Jaden Spencer was there. Jackson didn't get a lot on that tip. And the point for Bloomington.
Same thing. Jackson recognizes it's not a great set. She's got to find a way to abuse the block instead of tipping into it.
Go to Jackson again across. Peterson handled it very nicely. Long to go to the middle. Favor, but she misses wide. And it's a 3-point difference at 19-16.
Fong letting them figure it out. I was expecting to see a timeout from Benilde here sometime in this last little run.
Back set, pushed across by Schreier off the Kunkel set. Hathaway from the middle misses. Now we'll get a timeout for Benilde.
Jefferson was dead in the water about 5 minutes ago, and they just kept chipping away. And here we see another, and it's not. It's errors that they weren't making all match. I think they're just getting a little comfortable, and Fong's going to take the timeout here and get them back under control, get them relaxed, and tighten it up a little bit. Jefferson has to feel good with the way they're playing in this moment. We'll see if they've got enough energy left in the tank, because countless times over the years that I've been watching this game, somebody puts forth great effort down by a ton to get back in it and then runs out of gas before the finish line. We'll see which team comes with the momentum and the fire off this time out. We see Benilde, the first one's back out onto the court. Lots of good communication as far as who's going to take what ball. Here we see Captain Anna Carr talking to Carl Volbrecht about what Volbrecht might see available for her teammates. You notice that at the high end, the players that are out are also communicating about what they see from the bench.
Reardon trying to keep this momentum going. Good serve for Jefferson out of the timeout. Here's Jackson. Point for Benilde.
Jackson just has that look about her. You see it here as this ball gets set. She just comes in with the speed. Ball hits the ground and just kind of looks at her teammates like, okay, what's next? Businesslike. Love it. Not quite Tina Bow, but has that same intensity about her.
Through the net, easy play there for Jackson. That's 21-17.
Great patience from Jackson as she waits until that ball gets into the plane on the overpass. A lot of hitters will get aggressive and go early and then get the call against them.
Line drive serve by Scherson. Left side of the net, blocked but out.
Schreier with intent and purpose to abuse the block there. Really like what she's about.
Alicia Wendler, sophomore setter, puts it in play for Jefferson. Here's Maisie Jackson, back at her. Point for Jefferson. Schreier and Heinitz on the left side. Let's look at it again.
It's a great block as they get their hands across. She tried to hit that 4-4 that scored earlier, but when your hands get across as a blocker, you take away a lot more space.
Jackson this time able to have enough on it to get it through the block and down for a point. It's 22-19.
And it's a triple block from Jefferson right here. All 6 hands, but they don't get across. They're straight up and not quite as strong.
Ooh. Back to Schreier. Sails long. It's 23-19.
That serve was filthy, John. Jump float, great contact point. It went down off her hand. Let's see if she's got another one.
Good
close.
Serve long.
Another great serve, though. Again, just missing long. We'll see if Peterson has a run in her here. 23-20, down by 3.
Peterson off of Carr. Back set. Taylor across. Off the set from Volbrecht.
Match point here for the Red Knights.
Dobos, the sophomore, will try to close it out here for Benilde. Not yet. 24-21.
Creatures of habit. And 24-21, the odds that Faber is going to come all the way around to get back into this match, not real likely. But we're still going to get the sub just in case. When the libero comes off the floor, we're ready to go.
Tegan Polster looking to keep Jefferson alive here tonight. Booth to the middle to Jackson, across, and there it is. And Benilde-St. Margaret's toughs out a 3-set win tonight over Bloomington Jefferson.
Yeah, it was a whole lot of great attacking. Let's watch this last point. Polster with that great serve again. Drops it short, out of system. Jackson, the only person who can get set, and she goes to the 1, which is good enough for the win. Nice finish from her. Really strong day from the Red Knights. Came out a little tough in 1, found a way to win it. Stretched at the end of 2 and bounced at the beginning of 3. Up early by a lot and held on to win the sweep to finish. Nice match for them to open play.
Well, they go to 9-1 on the season, Andy. 2-0 in the conference. Jefferson dropping to 3-10. And as Coach Dolman said, you know, we're still trying to find ourselves here, build toward next month. For Coach Luong, a great start to the season. Certainly have some work to do, though. Some of those balls that just missed that they've got to clean up, but a good win nonetheless in the conference here tonight.
Absolutely. It's a good win against the team that went undefeated in conference play last year. The confidence this team is playing with is really quite impressive when you consider two of their main contributors are an 8th grader and a 9th grader. Their starting setter, only a sophomore. For them to be playing with this kind of swagger right now has me real excited to see what this team's going to be doing in a month.
More volleyball, plenty more volleyball on CCX coming up this fall. We hope you've enjoyed this one. Benilde-St. Margaret's wins it in 3, and for Andy Gugesberg and all of our crew here at CCX, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks so much for tuning in for our coverage tonight of Prep Volleyball.